And here we have been at Julius Nyerere Youth Festival 2025. First of all, who is Julius Nyerere to you?
My name is Akankura Jevita, a student of Makerere University, offering Bachelor of Science with Education, class coordinator and deputy speaker. Julius Nyerere is a leader, a person who has servant leadership, a person who is humble, down to earth. So Julius Nyerere is a person who is like a teacher, someone you can learn from.
Yeah, he's Mwalimu, was a teacher.
Yeah, Mwalimu. So I learned from him humbleness, being down to earth, showing people love and integrity. Yes, that's what I understand.
Wonderful. Front here you have learned humility, servant leadership, sacrifice and unity. So which kind of message do you give to the younger people who would wish to take these leadership positions, or even who are already into these leadership positions? What message do you offer to them?
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. The message I want to give to my fellow leaders or students that are aspiring to be leaders is that they should be humble. You should respect the people that have voted you. You shouldn't show off, yes, I'm in a position, you have to brag off. No, that shouldn't be the mentality. It should be about humbleness, down to earth. Listen to the voices of the people that entrusted you with the power, because all of it all comes back to the people, because they're the ones that entrusted you. So if you behave in a bad way, you don't care about them. Now when you come back to ask for a position, of course they won't give you that trust again. So be a person that you care for people, love them and listen.
Wonderful. We're talking about a servant leader, and here we are looking at Julius Nyerere, who served Tanzania with all his zeal into leadership. He dedicated all his efforts into serving people of Tanzania. I mean, say that even Africa, the whole world is imitating at how this great leader has been for many years. Even in his absentia, we still celebrate him simply because he served his nation without self-interest, but serving people genuinely.
Yes, you're talking about serving people. What is entailed in serving the people, and maybe what are those the nitty-gritties of service that the people who occupy leadership positions, those young leaders who want to take over these leadership positions, can do?
All right. We are talking about serving. We are looking at a leader who gives services to the people, regardless of his self-interest, but he's looking at the broader picture of the public, giving back to the public, treating all people equally without segregating. And I think in this generation, leaders should also imitate his characters, his passion into serving, so that they can be molded into good leaders for today and tomorrow.
Yes, you have talked about that you are a Mwalimu of Swahili and history.
Yeah.
Do you think language is important in uniting people, and maybe not only uniting people in terms of communication and social and socialization, but also as far as business is concerned? Because now we are in East African community, and we are talking now about East African integration, the political integration of East Africa, whereby from Tanzania, Arusha, Nairobi, Kampala, everywhere. Do you think language Swahili is all that much important as far as politics and business is concerned?
Obviously, language it is a unifying factor in every society, and without a language, it is very difficult for people to communicate. And I think in East Africa, I do recommend that if we can at least embrace Swahili as a language of unity, it can help us into our communication in businesses, in every aspect of life, because there is no way how you can distance yourself from a language. You go in Kenya, you communicate well with people in Kenya. You come in Uganda, in Tanzania, in Congo. So in the whole of East African region, if we can embrace Swahili as a national language, it can ease communication.
Wow. Your last message, just use 30 seconds to air out your message to the young people.
To the young people out there, I do encourage every young leader or upcoming leaders to always attend these sessions, because they are so important, especially in the
Wonderful. Ndugu Vincent, nimefurahi sana kuongea nawe
na kwa kunikaribisha leo na kuzungumza na vijana na ama niseme viongozi wa kesho. Nimefurahi, asante sana, asanteni.
Name is Jado Pio. I am a student at Chambugu University. I am a social worker who is in my final year. It's a great honor honor to be here this evening to speak again about the legacies of the late Mwalimu Kambarage Nyerere. As you remember, last year in October, I happened to be on delegation that represented Uganda on celebrating the 25 years after the passing of Julius Nyerere.
Wonderful.
And one of the key things, issues that I learned that Mwalimu Julius Nyerere was not only a leader, but he was a lead advocate in so many spheres of life. For example, he advocated for unity of Africa, unity of East African community, he advocated for Pan-Africanism, advocated for peace, and most of the African countries today are thriving just because of his legacies. So your question comes in here that how can we as leaders embrace his legacies as we continue to serve our nations? What my take on this is that as yesterday I was listening to a certain panelist who was talking about the legacies of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, and he said that even our president Yoweri Museveni today, he has a Mwalimu Julius Nyerere in him, meaning that
you say hi to the people from Chambogo and you tell them really to emulate Mwalimu Kambarage Julius Nyerere.
I've really learned a lot. I've really learned that I'll start up a business. I'm not going to just stay there seated. I will do something productive to keep me active. Then I'm in youth structures from the village level. Yeah, I happen to be a youth counselor. Yes, even at school I'm still a leader.
For which place?
In Rampal District, Rivergo, Chiringo Town Council. So I'm still aspiring there, and they trust me, they'll give me more votes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so I've learned that I will extend some good messages to the young people. Then I've also got new friends, new connections.
Wonderful.
We are going to achieve more in this.
Who is a leader in the context of Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere's teaching?
All right, thank you so much. Mwalimu himself, Julius Nyerere, is a leader, and we have learned from him. He was a humble person, a servant leader, liked unity, because that's why we have been character awards. Even we have been so more interactive with these people from Tanzania, Sudan, who have got so many friends.
Oh wow. And she talks about unity, she talks about starting small, and for her right from here she's going to start up something small, and I will be glad after 1 year or 2 years or the next 5 years see you as the greatest woman entrepreneur.
The legacy of Julius Nyerere is one of the most important legacy in our African continent. Like celebrating our local African leaders, it's one of the most important things. I learned from him the most important lesson in this festival.